So today we're gonna talk about Aljamain Sterling versus Brian Ortega. What should I do next? Brian Ortega missing weight. What is going on? I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Okay, listen. Let's start off with Sterling. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I watching the fight after every round. After every round, I was like, yeah, dude, this is Sterling, man. I love seeing someone, especially in high level MMA, like look through, whatever. If they have looked through a lot of their opponent's fights, or however they have studied, maybe just the coach or the coach and fighter together. However they do it, and you see them get into the cage, and you see a clear game plan, and it works. Something they saw was like, okay, what we're gonna do is maybe Sterling's team didn't even plan to grapple or anything, because it didn't seem like he needed it at all. But not even early on, not even like jab to 1-2, just boom several times, the right bam, caught every time almost. I mean, Ortega started to see it coming a bit later, so he started throwing his on, or I don't know, by the third round maybe he saw it coming a bit, slipped, it caught his shoulder or something. But just bam, bam, right hand, no maybe he fainted a bit, but no jab, right hand, just boom, right hand, boom, right hand, landed every time. Hard leg kicks, like one of the earlier leg kicks, you heard smack, but bam, and he dropped to one leg. Ortega did. So great work in the stand-up for Ortega. He moves around very weird. I get that it's hard probably to maybe find a good timing on him. Yeah, so he was clearly beating Ortega on the feet. Then he started to jab. There was one moment where he landed 4 jabs in a row. Boom, 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 boom. And the commentator even said it. But yeah, he's just landing jabs. And something that was funny as fuck, Ortega, after he landed 1, 2, 3, 4 clean, jab, jab, jab. After those 4 that all landed, then Ortega started to what? But Alex, if he was trying to mock Sterling, you're just mocking yourself, because you're just making yourself look worse. I don't know what you're doing. Or if you're trying to get the he's jabbing the shit out of me, I'm trying to get in. But Ortega, how old is Ortega? 35, 36. You won't all of a sudden in one of your last few UFC fights become from zero head movement to, you know what I mean, and yeah, dude, I laughed so much, especially in the later part of the fight. Even when they clinched up, Sterling just boom got him down, got on top, and if it was in the it was in the 4th round for the last 10 seconds or whatever. Sterling just started to unload on him, just beating the shit out of Ortega, and after the fifth round, after the fight was done, when they were standing listening to the judge's decision, I believe Ortega looked smacked up, so fantastic. But in the 5th round, Sterling just won the grappling again. In the 5th round, he looked a bit like he started to get a bit tired. But he's still, that's the thing, even when Ortega looks like the fresher fighter, he's the bigger fighter. He's supposed to be this elite on the ground. Even then, when Sterling is definitely more tired, Sterling just easy takes his back, gets him down, looks for a moment like he has a choke in, squeezing on his face, and then he just easily turns around, gets into guard, I think. So easy for Sterling. I don't know what Ortega has been doing for 10, 20 years in the grappling. Domination from Sterling, fantastic. Laughed so much at Ortega. Low TC Ortega, what are you doing? Okay, so for Sterling, I would love to see Sterling fight Volk for the belt. I don't think Sterling is in the pound for pound list anymore. He isn't. I'm pretty damn sure he isn't. Wait, I have the pound for pound list here. Why am I guessing? Yeah, of course, no. Yeah, so, but to get there to the Volk fight, because in some people's eyes, at least, that would be the featherweight goat versus bantamweight goat. Like, those matches to see is always cool, even if it's, a bit later, not in their prime, or even if it's not for a belt, but they are in the same division. But even now, like Volk, dude, maybe he isn't in his prime, but he looked damn fucking good against Lopez, not far from it. Sterling, whenever you want to say his prime was, or if it's now, like, still, dude, he dominated. I know Keita doesn't seem to be the Keita of old, but still dominated Keita for 3 rounds as a bantamweight coming up not long before making 135 pounds. So he wasn't like, it takes a bit to really grow into the division. So he comes up as a bantamweight, dominates Keita for 3 rounds in the grappling. Has a really close fight against Evlev, who's looked as like the number one. I mean, he's the number one contender. He's undefeated. So really goes back and forth with him, close fight. And yeah, now dominated by Ortega for 5 rounds. In stand-up, in grappling. Like, he's damn high level. So I would love to see Volk versus Sterling. The problem is there's like a lot of guys now that are deserving of a title shot, or I almost say looking for a title shot. Evlev at number 1, of course. Even Jair at number 3, who beat Pitbull. He wants the title shot. He was very close to getting it in Mexico, apparently. Leron Murphy undefeated at number 4. That's the guy that everyone talks about getting the next title shot. Sterling would probably go up to number 5. So now we have 4 people there talking about title shot. And the winner of Diego Lopez, Gene Silva. That's, especially if Gene Silva wins, that could definitely be for the title. So you have 5 guys there, the winner of that matchup, and then Evlev, Jair, Murphy, Sterling. So, like, a good problem to have. You have definitely a couple people that you could give the shot to. So, what Sterling should do, because I don't think there's any chance he gets into the top 5 at number 5. I don't think he would get past Murphy, but so if Sterling sits at number 5, he should. Because I don't think he would get a title shot because of that. There's a lot of guys. He should fight number 3, Jair Rodriguez. If you saw how easy Ortega got Jair down in their last fight, and how easy he subbed him, I'm not saying that. Listen, maybe he's better at getting subs than Sterling, sure, no problem with that. But Sterling, if he then can do what he did to Ortega and just take him down, control him, no danger, no problem, then I don't know if there's a fly insect or something. Then he can definitely. So that's more about if Jair would take the fight. But if Sterling can get that fight, number 3 in the world, Jair, and he's back-to-back, he beat Keita, close loss to Evlev, and then back-to-back wins, dominating Brian Ortega, Jair Rodriguez. Like, by that point, if that's in 6 months, whenever it is, because people seem to be so fucking inactive. Wait, Sterling? Yeah, exactly. He hasn't fought since December last year, right? Gee, this is what I mean. Is it 8 months? September, October. 8 months. Yeah, so probably 6 months to see him again. And you never know. What would be good for him would be if they, if Gene beats Diego Lopez, whoever wins there, and they do. Like, let's say Murphy gets the shot against Volk, and so Evlev needs to fight someone, so maybe they do. Or would that actually? I don't know. If Evlev got the shot and they do Murphy versus Diego Lopez, I don't know. stuff happens all the time. So in 6 months, it can even be that one guy are more deserving than Sterling, but he just fought, and Sterling's like the next guy. Whatever. So if he beats Jair, he can definitely then look at the division, how it looks. Someone maybe just beat Volkanovski, whatever. So yeah, I would really like to see. And hot take, I think it would be hard for me to find someone that agrees with this, but I think I would actually want Sterling to get the title shot and to choke out Volk and become champ. I hated Sterling as when he was the champ, terrible champion. Not that everything that happened was his fault, but just like made the division look horrible, and yeah, everything with the DQ and TJ being injured, and the fights that weren't like, every fight was controversial if it was a robbery or injury or the DQ. Yeah, so it was terrible reign. But now it's like, when someone you don't like Usman, for example, like Usman always finds a way for me to hate him. Same with Adesanya, but when they lose, they are like, okay, he's not the champion anymore. He's not the guy that I have to see every time in title fight after title fight, boring fights or whatever. So it's easier to like someone for me like Usman then, for example, or like Adesanya. Still, fuck him. I try sometimes, but with Sterling, he just seems like a genuine good guy, a nice guy, and not when you're Shimaev and you have the most boring fight ever, but with someone like Sterling, I have really started to appreciate guys that just go out there and work in, be well rounded, and just go out there and try to just get the win. And I'm not talking about just clinching and stuff. For me, I know the crowd booed for certain moments. I know many fans probably didn't enjoy that fight. I like the fight. For me, I need to be invested in both fighters to really enjoy the fight. Like, have something. Maybe I don't like you. Maybe I like you. Maybe there's some meme going. I need something. So I know some people can watch a scrap, a war on the early prelims and love it. I don't give a fuck because I don't even know who they are. But so for this fight, to see them going back and forth in mostly boxing, Sterling figuring out Ortega, having a great game plan, smacking him up, great leg kicks, drops him with the leg kicks twice. Not only dominates him in the striking, but also grappling. I thought it was a good fight. And yeah, I appreciate. I don't know. I can't really explain exactly why. I would just love to see Sterling after the O'Malley loss, then getting booed out of the building as 300, then losing to Evlev is could have. I don't know. Maybe Evlev probably should have gotten, but a very good performance from him still. And then if we just it's not often you see a guy be champion, move up to the next weight class, win, lose, win again, and get back to the throne. So yeah, Jair fight is the way to go. Brian Ortega is terrible, man. Fucking terrible. He sucks. He lost, dominated, bitch boy. Lost Tracy Cortez, L move. What is he, 35? Isn't he a deadbeat dad also? Let's just pile on everything you can. And he's also ugly, I would say. Changes his hair up like he's a teenager. And the weight cut and everything, like look at his body. Have you ever seen like abs on Brian Ortega? Has he ever looked ripped or like fit, really fit? Like, for me, he looks like a 20-year-old who, or a 30-year-old who goes to the gym, like, yeah, two, 3 times a week. Maybe he like works out good or decent, like half-asses it, so maybe even does it good, but goes home and then just eats whatever he wants. Says he's gonna do something but doesn't do it. Says he's gonna eat well for the weight cut, doesn't do it. Like, eat cheeseburgers at McDonald's or whatever, or Five Guys, or pizza, some kebab, I don't know, ice cream, everything, and hangs out at the strip club, and now he misses weight by like 7 pounds, 6-7 pounds. What a disgrace! Have to move it up basically to lightweight. They said catch weight at 153, but I thought, 150. Basically, they moved up to lightweight. Like, it's like with the Brian Battle thing. He just got cut. He came in and he doesn't even look, in shape. Like, you see all the extra body fat on his. You just see he looks like an average guy you would see on the street. Not especially fit. Not jacked. Not ripped. No abs. Ortega, of course, is in decent shape, but like, you shouldn't say about the UFC athlete he's in decent shape. Like, look at Sterling and then look at Ortega. Of course, there's genetics and everything, and black genetics with muscles and everything. And like, we know, just look at Ortega throughout his career, even when he made weight and everything, he has terrible genetics when you just look at his body and everything, sorry as fuck. But just terrible representation to the sport. Fights once a year. It sometimes takes 2 years off. After lost to Max, 2 years off. After lost to Jair, 2 years off. Disgrace to the sport. Got the fluke win over Jair. That's the only win he has in 5 years. And he's still ranked number 5. Probably goes down to 6 or 7 after this. Yeah. His career is he should be ashamed of himself. Like, isn't he a deadbeat? I'm pretty sure he's a deadbeat. Yeah. Let's just end it there. Thank you for watching the video, guys. You bastards. Yeah. Latest video right here. Playlist right here. Low T City.